Hello everyone and welcome to AI Menu Tutorials. Today I'll just go through the overview of the system. So what you see in front of you are two screens, one of which is running on the POS computer, which is the left one, and the tablet is running on the right hand side. I'm actually running tablet through TeamViewer, which is pretty cool, that you can actually see both the tablet and the screen in one window. But just know that that does sometimes cause a bit of a lag. The lag is actually through TeamViewer, not through the app itself. So without further ado, let's get started. AI Menu's primary goal is to create a system where you have mobile ordering really easy. And AI Menu, we try to make the menu as simple to use as possible. It's purely a menu. It's not going to cook the food. It's not going to deliver the food. It is a tablet that is designed to be easy to use, both for the waiter and for the end user. Now, one of our principal advantages is that we allow multiple tablets per table. So you don't actually have to create a full order on your tablet. You can just go and order step by step. It just adds it to the system. But there is a very big and interesting point here. It doesn't go to the kitchen straight away. And that's a very, very big advantage for restaurants. Because imagine if you have a table of 10, you give tablets to everyone and they start ordering, the kitchen suddenly gets a million dockets and they say it's good for nothing. Well, our system allows you to have full control over when that item goes to the kitchen. And I will go through that in a second. What you'll see in the left-hand side is not a typical point of sale screen. In fact, we have a typical point of sale screen, which actually looks like this, but we'll go through that in a second. But our main point of sale screen actually looks like a bulb screen. And it's deliberately designed that way to keep it clean. You'll see new orders on the top. You see we haven't got anything yet, and you see a list of tables on the left-hand side, which we don't have yet. So let's get it started. Server off, we press on the red button, we go start server, and we have just started the server. You'll see that on here on the tablet, that's actually changed from red, trying to find the server, to a nice AI menu. It's actually found the server, which is great. Now looking at the tablet itself, we have on the top, we've got obviously the logo. We've got a keypad for you to enter the table number. Now this tablet, this screen isn't designed to be used by the customer. That is only for the waiter to use. And so you enter the table number before you actually give it to the customer. And if I were to enter a table number in, I would just do that. It would go through and ask me for a PIN code. PIN code at the moment is 1234. There we go. Sorry. Save. There we go. Yours being a bit dodgy. So 1234. And okay, so there we are. We've got a demo menu, best restaurant. On the top you've got your tabs. On the bottom you've got your a few buttons, which we'll go through in a second. This is what you give to the customer. It is designed to be simple. It is designed to be efficient. If you like anything that you see, you click on it or you press on it. That brings you up a nice big picture. If you like what you see, you press on the green button, proceed. And there's a quantity option up here. Enter your table, enter your name, which is optional. Let me just put my name in. I have to use the keyboard. What? Special requests. No. I don't know, salt. And send order. So what you've seen is the order going straight through. Now it hasn't actually printed. What you have seen is that the table has been created, table number 14, which is shown there, and it's got one item which is new. That is exactly what it's supposed to do. Now you can also see that there's a timer that started. That starts when a new order is placed. And that is sitting there waiting for you to do something with it. Now let's assume that you have a number of people at table 14 and they keep on ordering. So I'm just going to go ahead and order a few things. Send order. Thank you. Send another order. Great. So you can see that as we've been placing these orders, they have been coming up on the virtual docket on the main screen. To send that to the kitchen, once you're happy, there's a number of ways you could do it, but the easiest way is simply to click or to press anywhere on that virtual docket. So I'm just going to do that now, and that is now going to print me a docket for that particular table. Now you've seen that this white docket has gone away, and table number 14 has got 3 items and is now grey. If we put another item in, whenever Team Viewer wakes up, there we go. Proceed, send order, there we go. So you can see that the table's now become white again, and there's a new docket. Now the docket doesn't have everything that they had, just the new item. So you know that there's new items waiting on that table. The timer starts again because you've sent the previous docket. This is a new docket that is waiting to be printed. Now at any time you can actually press on the left hand side and you will get the full table details. So this is everything that they had, including the unprinted part. You can see that there's the note that we put in, no salt. I'm going to go through these in a second. So let's say that I'm just going to press on here and send that to the kitchen. Now on the tablet here, we've got show drinks, show food. So if we go here, it'll show the drinks. We go here, it will show the food. Now, if we put a drink order through, and at the moment there's configuration that I've set to send it through straight away. So as soon as that is ordered, I'm going to send that through. It momentarily popped up on here, but it went to the printer straight away. So you can set that it prints straight away. There's all sorts of options you can do. You can set it that it prints after a certain time period. You can set it that it just prints the drinks and desserts and leaves the other stuff waiting for you to do something. You can set it that it automatically prints after 5 minutes. There's all sorts of options you can do. And of course you can actually send it through to the kitchen from the tablet as well. And I'll show you in a second how to do that. Going through these buttons on the bottom here, table summary, well, if you press it, it just shows you the summary of everything that you had. And if you just scroll up, it'll just show you the bill. On the left hand side, call waiter, very important button. Call waiter, are you sure? Yes. And this is what happens on the main screen. You've got this pop-up that says table 14 wants a waiter. You can also send a message saying, bill please. And that message will pop up on the screen. The idea was actually borrowed from sitting in an airplane, and if you want a steward or stewardess to come and bring you something, you press on a little button. And we thought, well, wouldn't it be great if you sit at a restaurant to do exactly the same thing? And our system allows you to do exactly that. You don't need to wait for a waiter, just press on a button and we provide the information to the restaurant that a waiter is requested at table 14, and there's even a message so that you don't go there twice. Now, at the moment, we've got the tabs on the top. If I just go show food, there's some more tabs across. So obviously, it's very, very simple. There's nothing really to it. You have a big picture that pops up. Proceed if you like it. There's also a button called Add to Favorites. If you press that, you will have a little favorites button that's come up on here. The only real reason that that's there is to help you use the process of elimination to order. Say you come to a restaurant that has got a huge menu and you're working out what you want. So I'm going to say, oh, I don't know, I'm tossing up between having a margarita and one of those. So if I then press on the favorites, it shows me the favorites and just shows me those parts. So I haven't actually ordered anything. I've just recreated my own little menu, and I can then easily order from here, and it's just a lot easier to do. You can add it to the favorite. If you say you're buying a round of drinks and you know you'll be drinking the same thing, you just add it to the favorites and then it'll be really easy to reorder. Right, so moving on, everyone's ordered, great. You've sent it to the kitchen. Drinks are automatically printed, so you don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to send that through back. As your customers want more drinks, they're ordering more drinks, everything's great. Let's say they've come to the end of the night and they just want to pay off, so you go through to the table on the left hand side. The table comes up, we go finalize table. I'll go through all of these in a second, but if you go finalize table, that brings up the point of sale screen, and in here you've got options for discounting, options for voiding, split bills, cash or card, and there's also part payments options. If I go, and one feature I do want to show is the split bills feature. That is really, really powerful in our system. If the customer puts their name in, the name will actually come up on the split bill dialog. So let's say you've got a huge table and everyone wants to pay for themselves, and of course every restaurant knows that that is a huge nightmare. Not with AI menus. Everyone puts their name in, and then whenever they come up to pay, they say, I'll have everything that Vlad had. Well, great. You click on that, you go everything that Vlad had, and there you go. So I've only had one because that's the only thing I put my name in. You go pay. That's the only thing that I'm going to pay for. I'm going to pay by card. Great, that's done. So the amount outstanding will actually no longer have the item that Vlad had. Very, very easy to use. We'll go through that in a second. Now, let's say that the customer is ready to leave and you want to grab some information before they do. So it's really easy to do. You just go grab any pad, load it to the same table as they were on, and you press and hold on this call waiter button. That's what I'm just going to do here, and that brings up a feedback screen. Really useful to grab some information. They can choose how many stars they give you, and the great thing is that once they send you the feedback, you actually see it on the screen. So let's say they had a really bad experience. Something wasn't brought out really well, or it was too cold, whatever it might be. They'll write it in, they'll send you the feedback. You can actually go to them before they leave and fix the problem, instead of them going out to TripAdvisor and Yelp and everything, and going into a battle with you there. It's much easier while they're still at the restaurant to make things good and say, look, sorry, we had a bad night, blah blah blah, our main waiter's sick, here's a voucher for your next main meal or something, and suddenly everything's good. That's worth much more than that just one discount that you give. Of course, that's completely up to you, but the other thing is that you collect the information. So you collect the name, the phone number, and the email, which is gold in restaurant terms. You can then use that for marketing. Assuming they click that, you can export the file from the system at any time and then create SMSs, or hey, we've got special rib deal today, come out to our restaurant, and you've suddenly given that information to all the people that have already been to your restaurant, already used the system, and so they're much more likely to come again. So just cancel out of that. Now let's say that the tablet is finished, so I'm just going to go and finalize the table, pay by card. Great, the table's gone. Notice, of course, not gone. If you go to settle tables, it will be there. Now, note there's actually two table 14s. That is because we split the bill before. So every time you split the bill, you will actually literally cut the bill and create a new table for that one item or for that many items that you split. I'll untick that. Now the customer's gone, you want to grab the tablets. The whole idea is that you don't need 150 tablets to seat 150 people. You only need literally the same amount of normal menus that you have of AI menus, because they're completely reusable. The waiter can then go press and hold on the bottom right hand corner. That's the trick to exit out of the table. You go and press the pin code, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that tablet is now ready to be used for the next table. They're completely reusable. You could put as many tablets on a same table as you want, so you just load the same table number into there. They're very fast, very easy to use. One more thing I just wanted to go through in terms of the system overall is the takeaway element. Every AI menu tablet has the option of doing takeaway. So if you press on that, now of course this screen is for the waiter to use, not the customer. So you've got somebody on the phone that wants to order takeaway and you don't want to hog the main screen. Quite often happens, and sometimes busy restaurants, they'll actually have 3 or 4 phones ringing at the same time saying, we want to order some takeaway. Grab any tablet, click on the takeaway symbol there, put the pin code in, and you've got your takeaway menu. Yes, what would you like? You would like that, great. Add to cart, you would like that, great. Add to cart. And you'll note that, of course, it's not sending the orders through to the main screen, it's actually adding it to a shopping cart, because you don't want to add and clutter the screen with takeaways. That's just one order that's going to go somewhere. So we're going to go shopping cart, takeaway name, phone number, any special requests, pickup time. So we can go 20 minutes or an hour, either way, up to as many hours as you like, of course. You can delete something off there, say, oh, yep, don't actually want that, great, not a problem, you've got your total up there. Let's just say that I want to order for John. Phone number is optional, but it's really nice to do. And go place order. Sending the order through, and that's now sent it through. Now goes straight to the kitchen. You don't need any input from the main screen. And if you go to the takeaway button on here, that actually shows the order. John, that's the order. And then you can of course finalize the payment there and then, or whenever they come and pick up the product. Very, very useful. Whenever you're done with the takeaway menu, simply hit back, and that tablet can be then used for the next table or next takeaway order. Staff mode. That's the only probably thing I haven't covered yet. So on the tablet side of things, let's say that you've got a tablet 25 and I'm just going to order a few things. So tablet 25, people have been ordering through, and I'm going to send these through to the kitchen, and I'm going to send a few more to be waiting. Send order. Great. Now, let's say that you grab a pad, and so I'm just going to log out of this one. Any pad, any tablet. And you go to the same, you want to enter the same table number, so table 25, but instead of putting in the generic pin code, you actually put your personal pin code. That's set up in the system. I've already created an employee called, I think it's John Smith, and his pin code is 2222. So we'll just go through and enter that. And that allows you just a few more options from the staff side. So you can see that we've currently got John Smith on the top there, showing with yellow that it is actually locked to the staff. Now there's a number of things you can do. It's a lot quicker to change from table to table. You don't need to re-enter your PIN code every time. So many restaurants just have one of these tablets that are just dedicated to one person. They have their PIN code in and they just put it in their apron. Anytime they just want to walk up to a table, put the table number in, and they can see the full order of that table. Very useful. Let's say they walk up to a table, someone calls out, if they didn't order themselves, hey, can I grab something? Can I grab another drink, please? I'd like another beer. You say, great, yep, no problem, you can do it yourself, or I can do it for you there and then. Send the order through, that's into the kitchen, the bar will make it and the bar will bring it out. Really useful. There's also some more staff options on the bottom left hand side. So you will see that there's an option to send orders to kitchen. So that's one of the buttons I was talking about before. Let's say that you're actually waiting on a table, they've made their orders and they're happy to send that through. I'm just going to pause there, see how that went to yellow. I've currently got it set that at 2 minutes it goes to yellow, at 5 minutes it goes to red. So you can change those, just gives you a visual idea of where you're standing with your new orders. So going back to this, you've got your tablet. If you wanted to send the orders to kitchen, all you do is press on the button, and you can see that that is simulated someone pressing on the screen, and that has just sent those orders to kitchen. So you don't need to go back to the screen, you can just do it straight from that staff tablet. Very useful. And you'll actually see that now everything is blue. The blue parts were the ones that are printed, the red ones were new. Let me just go and order something from the staff. Now ordering from the staff tablet is exactly the same as ordering from another tablet. Works exactly the same way. So you'll actually see that. That's printed. Of course it did, because it's a drink. I actually wanted to have something that didn't print. Let's go Backpackers, beef nachos, send order. There we go, that's waiting. If I then go to staff, there we go. So there's the red order there. That's just in alphabetical order, and you've got your beef nachos, and red means they haven't been printed. If you click on that, you can actually, as a staff member, delete that item from the order because it hasn't been printed yet. Very useful as well, and that has now disappeared, but without printing. It's just not there. What else? Set head count, corkage cakeage. So once again, you're at the table, you're waiting on the table. Much easier to set the head count straight there and then. You don't have to, it's an option. Some restaurants love it. You get good stats from it of average spend per head. Also know how many people went to your restaurant, etc. It depends if you want to use it. Set corkage cakeage. Some restaurants are licensed, some are partially, so you can add those there and then as well. Staff log off and return. So if you do staff log off, that brings the tablet back to the standard mode, and then you can use that same tablet into the normal mode of the system. Righto, last but not least, I just wanted to go through the settings side of things. On the bottom right hand corner, you've got just some basic information about the tablet itself. You've got 95% battery, you've got which Wi-Fi it's connected to, serial number, version of the software. Now every tablet that you've got in stock, you will actually see, you'll be able to inspect from the main screen of the point of sale as well. You can just press on the lamp here and that will show you, I beg your pardon, a interface of all your tablets. You've got low battery tablets, offline tablets. At the moment you can see that we've got our tablet table number 0, serial number 2, and it's 95% battery. I'll just put it on charging, and you can see that that's now changed to charging as well, and then within 10 to 15 seconds that'll also show on here. Also very useful. There you go, see, for charging. Very useful to, at the end of the night, just check to make sure all your tablets are actually charging. You can show IP addresses, show version numbers of the software there, and a few bits and pieces there. You can actually log the charging state, so you can actually set them on charging overnight, then come back in the morning and see which tablets are charging well, which ones aren't. You can then change charging cables based on that information. That's quite useful as well. On this side here, you've got English. Now, as you guessed, that is actually a dynamic translator of the menu. Really cool feature, really cool. You can actually translate to any language in the world. You can translate, well, whatever Google has at the moment. It does use Google Translate, which is both good and bad, of course. Google Translate is never ideal, but it is usually about 90% accurate. I have translated into a couple of languages that I do know, and we had a good laugh. But it tells you the information. It shows you exactly what you're ordering. It just makes it so much better user experience. And of course, there's things that it just can't translate. For example, we had what was it? Buffalo sauce. And so, of course, everyone knows what buffalo sauce is, but if you think about it, Google translated as literally sauce from a buffalo, which of course we had a good laugh. But you know, you get things like that. But generally, if you got a group of international businessmen coming in and you just want to provide a menu in their language, you will have their business forever. On the top there, you've just got a few ways to get into a few other apps like settings. You've got the Square app if you need it. And the last but not least, if you press and hold on the logo, and I'm just going to do that now, it's going to come up with an access code. I'm just going to put in the standard PIN code. That is actually going to bring up a setup page. So there's just a few things that you can set up, whether it's a local server, whether it's a cloud server. We run both. In big installations, we run a local server. In small kiosk installations or AI drinks, we run cloud server now. You just set all your credentials in there, test printers, test Bluetooth printer if you've got one connected, just a few bits and pieces there. So if you ever need to go into the settings, that's how you do it. And of course, that is the only way you can exit the app, is by pressing and holding on the logo, putting in the PIN code, and then going exit app. The PIN code is there so that your customer doesn't go into the things that they shouldn't. So the idea is that once you give the tablet to the customer, they cannot change a table number. They cannot go into the settings and exit the app. The tablet is locked to that particular table. It's locked to the app that we provide, and it's doing the job that it's supposed to, that anytime someone picks it up, it is ready to use as an ordering device. And that in itself provides a huge markup for restaurants. Ease of ordering. You simply press more buttons. That's a fact of life. But also upsell. So all the add-ons that you can put in, all the questions you can put in. Would you like extra guacamole? Would you like extra sour cream? Would you like an extra bread for $3? Generally, overall increases, history shows and research shows are about anywhere from 10 to 20% increase in sales. Some claim up to 40%. Really depends on the restaurant, but generally self-service, and this is a form of self-service, is really growing now, and people are just used to it. And for the restaurant, it just provides so much improvement in efficiency, as well as the customers generally love having them listened to. If you want a waiter, you don't have to wait. If you want something brought out to you, you don't have to wait. It's just done. So it's kind of a win-win situation. Alright, that's it for now. We'll see you soon in the next tutorials.